All right, I'm in the shop, and today we're going to be talking about wheel tire offset setups for your S14. So this will basically be giving you a couple examples and what you can expect for yours, and that's pretty much it. But I'll kind of explain what setup I have, and I'm going to show you two different setups. This is kind of like looking at Fitment Industries and trying to determine what's going to fit yours. So I'll show you these two. You can decide what you want. Currently have, these are odd Hans, I don't remember the numbers, but they're 18 by 9.5 plus 15s. All of the body panels are stock on this, stock fenders, there's no over fenders, all that stuff. Because I messed up and I have one large tire on the back, because I had a spare and I thought it was the same size and I didn't double check. But, so you're gonna get to see two different tire sizes too. So this is currently a 245/40/18, and that's how it fits. I don't know, trying to do this to give people an idea of what to expect on their car, let you see. Now the stretch look does help this fit into the fender well, or obviously it would be sticking out pretty far. So that's on the front. Also, most of the control arms are changed because it was necessary to get the correct camber, necessary to get the correct toe. There are replacement lower control arms. I'll show some of that probably right now as I'm talking. Most everything in the rear is changed except the lower control arm, but it's got ISR arms all the way around to be able to do the alignment. It was necessary to get this to fit correctly. Now what's kind of weird, this is it's a different tire, but it's close enough. It's still a 245/40/18. And this is absolutely as high as these ISR coilovers will go. I have them, you lower the bottom of the shock mount, you thread it down. And this is as low, or as far down as I could bring it to bring the height of the car up. As far as I could do it that I felt comfortable, because anything more seemed like it would be too weak. But so there's still a little bit of gap here. Now there's a reason that I have it like that with that much gap, and that's because I accidentally put over here this, which is I think it's a 245/45, yeah, 245/45/18. And this, not only does it stick out, see what I'm saying? But it doesn't stretch quite as much, and this ends up hitting. And I do have these, I have a slight roll on these fenders, but just slightly. So it'll still end up hitting. I mean, you can actually see the wear on the tire where the fender will touch. So it fills that gap much more, but I never wanted this. I just needed something to get it on the road. So that's what it would look like in the rear with a 245/45/17. And this is what it'll look like with a 245/40/17. 18, gosh darn it, 18, these are all 18s. And I'm mixing up and saying 17 because I have new wheels and tires that I just got mounted up that are going to be the setup I use for the track. So the car is going to go on the firm, do some road racing. So I got some, I think these are 300 treadwear, Kenda, whatever the hell. Kenda Vezda, ultra high performance, blah, 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 blah. But got a great deal on these at Tire Easy, and got these XXRs from Fitment Industries. And the reason I got these in particular is not because I liked them that much, but it was a specific size. I needed 17s. I needed something a little smaller diameter, and then I needed something that was a little wider but also a correct offset to do what I'm about to tell you. And these are 17 by 8.25 with a plus 25 offset. And I measured this very carefully. Could zoom out a little, that helps. I measured this very carefully because I wanted something that, so it's for the track, I want it inset. I'm not going for the flush, the hella flush, the any flush. I want it inset, and it has to clear my coilovers, and I want to be able to get decently cheap rubber. That was like $440 or something for all 4 of those shipped to my door. Then I just paid $117 to mount and balance them. And the rims themselves were $780. And to get this exact specific fitment, I researched quite a while, and I wanted a slight stretch, very slight, but apparently the slight stretch helps with sidewall flex and high-speed corners. So I went with these are 215 45 17s. And again, I measured all that. And this is, so none of this is an accident. Some of this is an accident because I wanted to be a Hotboi and I wanted some wide ass tires. And yeah, it looks cool. I'm sort of pleased with it, but now I'm trying to get her on the track. So these are going to be my track wheels. So now that you've seen these with all these suspension settings, I'm going to take these off, put these on, and you can see what they look like. Then tomorrow I'm going to redo the whole entire alignment, but I have to put these on to see how much height, how much I can lower it, and then redo. I'll probably leave caster alone, but then redo toe and set camber a little more aggressively than this, or maybe not. I don't know. That's why I have to mount them on the car and see what we got. But without changing any suspension settings whatsoever, I'm going to put these on and you can kind of see a before and after. And before I pull this off, get an idea of tire height. I use tire height comparison calculators online to see the difference. And this is what I wanted. I definitely wanted them shorter overall than the 18s, or else what was the point? I couldn't lower it then. Oh, and this gap is because I just started jacking up the car, so we're only comparing the actual tire, you know, the heights of the tires. Here's a side-by-side with the new 17s and the old 18s. So really just a, you know, difference in width that I'm trying to show here. And there we go. Smaller, period correct, baby. And yeah, they're sunk in, but that's literally what I wanted. So I know people are gonna be like, oh, your fitment's trash, but I don't care. I measured these specifically. I calculated the offset, especially versus the old one, and I wanted this to be sunk. Like, they're sunk, don't get me wrong. And I'm not even putting spacers in there because I don't play that. I'm kicking it old school. I am old school. So this is exactly what I wanted. And I needed this. I haven't even like compressed down the springs to try and get everything to settle. But now I have room to lower, especially in the rears, which I'm going to do next. I have room to lower and give it a more just appropriate ride height for going to the track. But I'm digging it. This is exactly what I wanted. I could have definitely went with a more square sidewall, but again, I wanted that slight stretch to mitigate the sidewall flex under cornering. But yeah, I need to take these. I'll calculate that in a minute. I don't want to guess right now, but how far I'm going to lower it. But I probably, all right, I'm going to guess. But I'm not going to go over the tire. I mean, it'd look cool, but I'm probably going to go down to almost even with the top of the tire right here. And so maybe an inch. And that's it. But let's take a look at the rears. And I totally forgot. I talked about camber and then forgot to actually measure it, because that's pretty crucial for what you're fitting. So again, I haven't changed it. So the 18s had a camber. And I've had this say 88.7, 88.6. Come on, focus. Oh, 88.5 now, I don't know, whatever. So that's a 1.5 degrees of camber on the front. And camber is hugely important to how your tires are gonna fit. So let's see what we got in the back. 1.3. So that was on purpose for my street setup. I didn't want to go any more. It technically needs to go more. It's like 3 degrees of camber in the front and like 2.5 in the rear, or 2 in the rear. I'm probably gonna keep it a little higher than that, a little closer to stock. I might not even adjust this. If I do anything, it'll be 2 degrees of camber here and 1 or 1.5 in the back, but I'll worry about that tomorrow. But I'm almost keeping this a street setup until I get a little more used to the track, and then I'll start dialing in the alignment harder for a track spec. This is also an almost exactly neutral toe, and pretty close in the rear. I can't remember if it's like a 16th in or out, but that's besides the point. It's basically neutral. So I'll probably start playing with some toe changes once I do the alignment. But again, slight segue. This Klein thing has been huge for doing the alignment. And I forgot to tell you what the camber was. Okay, so again, onto the rear. All right, and the rears. Here's the fronts first of all. And then the rears. Okay, this is it. This is what I wanted. So, love it. Love it. All right, they're fitted up, whatever. They're on the car, I'm digging it. It's, you know, I had trouble finding these because they were 8 1/4. I wasn't searching for 8 1/4 on Fitment Industries. Then I ended up spotting these. But everything I was looking at was like plus 30, and that was, you know, there's 5 more millimeters sunk in. What is it, an inch, 25.4 millimeters? You know, it's enough. So I held out, got something a little wider, and with a decent enough offset that it would clear my coilovers, and, you know, I could be able to buy cheap tires. Can't wait to test these, but tomorrow I have tonight to think about what I want my suspension settings to be, and how far I want to lower the car. You know, just lower the center of gravity a little bit. How the height I want from the front to the rear. If I want a little differential there, I need to look up some weight balance specs. I don't have corner balancing scales, which would be really nice for making these adjustments, but maybe in the future. But for now, I'm digging it. And as much as they're sunk in, like I'm looking at these rears right now, oh, digging it. It's exactly what I wanted. And the S14 to be built soon. So I hope this helped you, because it was kind of difficult to really nail down settings, and hope what you see on Fitment Industries is like actually, like, do they have spacers? That looks pretty wide for a plus 30. You know what I mean? It's a lot of misinformation. So hopefully this answered everything I could think of, and if I forget something, I'll put it in the description. But, you know, hit me up if you have any questions. I don't have a ton of other tire setups that I put on there, except for some really sunk in. I use my drift spares over in the corner, and they're really sunk in, and they're only 7 inches wide. But that's it. No mas. Peace.